Happy post Stampede, everybody. Welcome to another Telling It Like It Is. I'm Jade Alberts, the founder of Pure Guidance. And this is a new era for the first 7.5 years. I've been using a platform. I've been contacted by these guys. I'm going to use them. I'm very excited. I have always liked to try out new things, especially in that, but I don't want to ruin them, and I don't want to have somebody do an interview and then all of a sudden it's going AWOL and it doesn't work. So I'm trying it on my ugly mug and making sure that everything works and there are no issues, with the platform. So I figured I would do this and kick it off with kind of a little recap. I missed a lot of Stampede events. It was I was out with our oldest daughter at Canada Cup. We made it to the championship round and then got mowed down by a really good pitcher. So in that end, it was a good tournament for them. Quickly flew home. Got there Monday, and of course, the Canadian Blockchain Consortium. We hosted our trade mission, and the trade mission itself was absolutely outstanding. We had a great event. We had lots of engagement. We had over 90 people from around North America coming to the event. So that was something that was, incredible. Bringing all these people in here, talking about what's going to be, what's next for Alberta, whether it be on the mining side or strategic Bitcoin reserve, things along those lines. But again, having everybody in the room, having everybody talking about it, it was awesome. I want to give a really big thanks to the entire team. I mean, I'm more in the background, but our leader, Kalea, she's outstanding. She's a visionary. She's a bulldog. She gets shit done. And, without her leadership, we wouldn't be anywhere. And Kaylee and Trina, setting everything up behind the scene. Thanks everybody for all the work that went into this. Obviously, the support that we get from our government. Thank you to Premier Smith for spending, a day with us. Ministers Nate Glubish, Ministers Dale Nally, also giving the time for us. MP Greg McLean from the Conservative Party of Canada was there. Chantal DeJong, Scott Sear, and a bunch of other, people around. There's a lot of type. One of the things when our I guess gone, it was, see, look, it says reconnecting, connection lost. So that's why we do this. Uh, so I'm going to talk about day one. So day one was our government day, and we had the premier in and lots of ministers. But some of the big topics are the strategic Bitcoin reserve. So are we going to carry Bitcoin on the balance sheet? What should we do? How should we do it? How do we position it so people understand? You know, it's not just a risk, and how we can make sure that it is an investment for in our province and in our heritage fund. How are we going to buy it, how are we going to use it, so forth. So that was a really good discussions, and again, with all the right people in the room from all different types of industries that are in the digital assets world. So it was an incredible discussions. Obviously, there's going to be more discussions. It's going to be talked about internally. But one of the things that came out of it is the Alberta Bitcoin Act. So we are in the process of putting that together and talking about that and making sure that we have something to bring to the people and everybody understands it and realizes it's not, it is an investment. It is something that's going to be great for our province and how we are going to move it forward. So those were two of the really big discussions that we had. And then obviously the data center discussion, the Bitcoin mining data center discussion was great. We've already got about 2.5 gigawatts coming in. Bring your own power. Big Deer's coming in. Other big ones like Iron and Mara. Are also coming in, Griffin and a few others. So how are we doing that? How are we positioning it? How are we properly regulating it? How are we going to make money off it? How are we going to tax it? All the mortgage paying jobs that are coming in with it. So those discussions are obviously still ongoing. They've been ongoing for a while. With this being our 6th trade mission, we'll be heading back to back to Texas in the fall here to do some more work on that and making sure our politicians understand so we can explain it to everybody. And that's on both sides of the aisle. We want to make sure that, this is great for our province. It's great for my kids. And if my kids decide to stay here, it's great for their children as well. But I also want to kind of go back to something we did a little earlier in the season. And we went to Ottawa and had a crypto ball there. We had a day on the Hill. And again, introducing it to all the new MPs that are, freshly elected, or making sure that we have the confidence of the federal government on moving this conversation forward. So the 3 days that we spent up in Ottawa were great. A lot of unbelievable discussions. We had over 150 people register for that event. We held it right at the National Assembly. What a beautiful building that was. And again, those discussions are ongoing. So as you can see, what we're looking to do here, especially for, bring the community together, we've accomplished that through the Canadian Blockchain Consortium. But again, making sure that the federal and the provincial governments are aligned. And our trade mission here was a huge success. And again, if anybody ever wants to, try, figure out what's going on, please reach out to us. We're here to ask questions. If you want to get involved, reach out, ask questions. And that is pretty much it. I don't have a whole lot to say. I was able to also kind of stop at the Ascent party, which was great. I hadn't been to the smoke on South Block on 4th Street there. That was amazing. Of course, Ascent has launched a brand new clean tech energy program that is kind of like a fund. So if you're a TRL 2 to 7 type company that are looking for engineering help, we've got Alberta Innovates on board with them. They're able to kind of give you a discounted rate for 100 hours. So reach out, talk to them. It is an incredible program, and very thankful for Bill, Jeff, Hani, Tyler, their entire team there for taking a chance and reaching out and helping those early stage companies that are looking for engineering help. I was also at the TNT party, was able to kind of crash that for about 25-30 minutes, shook some hands, gave some hugs, and then had to head back to the trade mission. So I am going to be taking the summer off. So I'm not going to be doing any more telling it like it is. Got a golf event next week, another golf event. We're off to the lake for 2.5 weeks. So it's time to relax a little bit. I will be around. If anybody wants a coffee or meeting, let me know. But it's time for a little me time, a little hangout with the family and the girls, and go to the gym and the pool and things along those lines. So, but again, I'm around. Reach out. I'll have a coffee, have a meeting. I hope this stream turned out really good. We'll check her out after. But again, I hope everyone enjoys their summer. We'll chat soon, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.